Maybe I'm crazy for thinking this, but I think the Tennessee Titans could be next year's breakout team. The two coaching hires they made were fantastic. Robert Saleh being the head coach, we know he is an uplifter of defenses. He can maximize talent. With the Jets, after his first season, they had an elite defense every year. And with the 49ers this past season, even with all the injuries they had defensively, they were still able to do a job. The advanced analytics hates that defense. They did bend a lot, but they didn't break. But they were in the top half in points allowed. And then we get to the Brian Dable news. Brian Dable opting to go to Tennessee and call plays for Cam Ward. Now, Brian Dable might have been fired from the Giants, but I'd argue in season, it actually hurt Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart's numbers with Brian Dable were far better than without Brian Dable. And Brian Dable was able to maximize Jackson Dart even when Malik Neighbors went down and when there was not that much receiving talent on the team. Brian Dable is a good offensive coach. I believe that. Maybe as a head coach, he didn't manage things the best. He may have kept his defense coordinator a tiny bit too long, and it cost him a lot of games this past season. But Brian Dable has shown that, he can draft a quarterback and get that quarterback to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, which Jackson Dart, I think, probably will win. And if it's not him, it'll be like Ted McMillan or something. I don't think it should be Tyler Shuck. And he also got a great season out of Daniel Jones and he made the playoffs. So Brian Dable has proven that he can call a good offense. So now you have, regardless of how you feel about Robert Saleh as a head coach, now you have two former head coaches on the Titans. One that specializes in defense, one that specializes in offense. I love it. Cam Ward, he's a star, man. I think he's going to be a star. He has that type of potential. If you made a montage of his 30 best plays of the season, they could outmatch any other quarterback's highlight tape this year. That's how sensational he was. And that's how amazing some of the plays he made were. So now Brian Dable comes into the mix, who before he got fired, Jackson Dart was top 15 in EPA per play amongst all quarterbacks. He can put Cam Ward in a position to be successful. Tennessee has $100 million in cap space. They have a high pick in the draft. This thing can be rebuilt fairly quickly, quicker than people think, because nobody thought the Patriots, even though I thought they'd make the playoffs, nobody thought they'd make the Super Bowl. The Jacksonville Jaguars won 4 games this past year, the season before, and now this year they won 13 games. Every year in the NFL, there's a breakout team. There's a team that breaks out, and it's usually because they have a combination of new coaches, Patriots with Mike Vrabel, Jaguars with Liam Cohen, or an exceptional offseason free agency draft period. Think of Commanders, Jaden Daniels' rookie year, where they also did change coaches, but they also had a fantastic draft. They made the right moves. What's stopping Tennessee from being that team? I don't see anything stopping them from being that team. I think they have foundations on both sides of the ball. With offense, you have Cam Ward, and that starts the foundation of everything. And I feel like this offseason is about helping him, getting a wide receiver, improving that offensive line, maybe bringing back Kevin Zeitler. Who knows what they do with Lloyd Cushenberry. The run game, I think it can be just good enough. Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard isn't the worst backfield in the league. You just really need to bring in receiver talent. And then defensively, Jeffrey Simmons is as good of a pillar as you can have defensively. He had a monster elite level season this past year, but because Tennessee was awful, it really didn't matter. It didn't matter. It didn't affect the win and loss column, but Jeffrey Simmons is playing at the top of his game, and Robert Saleh, I know, was salivating thinking about a defense being put around him. So they have foundations. Now, the $100 million in cap space is due to the fact that they don't have much talent on the team. So they got to pay for talent to come on his team. But one great free agent period away, they signed 2 to 3 awesome free agents, and that might be underselling it. You draft well. This team can be right up there. And it's my belief in Cam Ward. It's my belief in Robert Saleh as a defensive coach. It's my belief in Brian Daboll as an offensive coach. They got 2 head coaches on this team. Two, pretty much 2. And I just think it's going to be amazing, man. And I think right now, where I stand, how I feel about Cam Ward, how I feel about these coaches, I think they're going to be next year's breakout team. They're going to at least be in the hunt for a playoff spot. And the best thing you can ask for is competency around your quarterback. And I feel like they will make and create a situation that is competent around Cam Ward. Because I hate that whenever you speak about Cam Ward, people want to bring in their analytics into the discussion. Cam Ward is not an analytics player. I'm sorry, but he's just not. You're not going to, and this is the thing with NFL offenses and just how to digest a sport in general, is that if a team has a bad infrastructure around a quarterback, it is very unlikely that that quarterback will have amazing numbers. The numbers aren't going to be great if the infrastructure is terrible. That's why we see quarterbacks that might not be that great have better numbers than the greats, because they are in better infrastructures. Infrastructure is everything. And everything in football, believe it or not, is a team stat. You throw the ball, you need a receiver to catch it. A lot of Cam Ward's passes were dropped this past season. You need time for a play to develop. The offensive line has to hold up. There's so many things that go into play and on every single football play that advanced analytics in certain situations, when you use your eyes, they just don't hold up. And that's how I feel about Cam Ward in Tennessee, and I'm a numbers guy. This is coming from a numbers guy. But as soon as I heard that Brian Daboll was going to Tennessee, I felt like it was amazing. It also makes me raise an eyebrow at why like people just don't want to go to Philly right now, which I have a take on it that I'll make later on. But yeah, I like this move a lot for Tennessee. I think that they're ready to break out next season. They just have to have a good draft, a good free agency. I'll be covering all that stuff, maybe even mock up my own offseason for them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.